I have a lot to talk about. So the police department says that Brianna went to the tailgate and she got too intoxicated. Her family is disputing how intoxicated she truly was because the tailgate timeline doesn't match witness accounts. They also say that a large friend group left around 12:30 a.m., leaving Brianna and 3 other women in the apartment. Her attorney says there's no explanation given for why no one accounts for what happened in those critical moments before her fall. At 12:43 to 12:44, Brianna used a friend's phone to call her boyfriend and an argument was heard. Her family says the argument alone doesn't explain a sudden fatal fall minutes later. At 12:46 a.m., 911 call reported a body on the ground. No one inside the apartment called 911. The caller was an unrelated bystander. Why didn't the 3 women hear or see anything? Especially since just 2 minutes earlier, she had just walked in and handed them their phone back, which means that they would have seen her walk out onto the balcony. Regarding the digital evidence, the police say that a deleted document on her phone appeared like a self-inflicting note. Her family and their attorney say that Brianna wrote creative pieces. The note was not in her tone and it wasn't addressed to anyone, and it could have been fiction. Police say there were prior emotional struggles and a text message suggesting distress. Her lawyers say that the police cherry-picked messages and ignored context. Friends say Brianna was not suicidal and made future plans that night. Police say her phone was recovered later in a wooded area near the tailgating party. Her family questions how her phone traveled from the party to the woods and whether someone else handled it. Now we're going to talk about the investigation quality because we all know that's probably trash. Police say the investigation was thorough, including surveillance, interviews, phone records, and forensics. But the family and their attorney say that the investigation was sloppy, incomplete, and rushed to judgment. Sorry, not sorry, but there are way too many unanswered questions in this case. Who deleted this alleged self-inflicting death note that they found in her phone? Was it time-stamped? Why was her phone found in a wooded area? Did they fingerprint it? Did they test it for DNA? Did the 3 women text or call anyone all night long? What were they doing from midnight to noon the next day? It was only 1 minute of her final phone call publicly referenced, and what exactly was said? Where is the boyfriend? Where is his statement? And why is he not talking to her mother anymore? They got along just fine before this happened. Why did the police department decide on suicide so quickly, within 24 hours? Because most cases with balcony falls remain undetermined for weeks. Why hasn't the police department or the medical examiner released the full autopsy yet? Why would she unalive herself if she was just making plans for the future that very night? Were her injuries really consistent with a fall from a 17-story building? That would be pretty evident. Now, I haven't seen crime scene photos, so I can't confirm this, but the family's observations say that there was no major blood splatter at the scene. Where's her toxicology report? What did those 3 girls do during those 12 hours? Did they sleep? Did they leave? Go to class, party again, on their phones? Did they check their phone records? Did they see what they were doing all night long? Were they really just asleep? How on earth does anyone expect us to believe that she borrowed one of their phones, called her boyfriend, argued for 1 minute, and she decided to walk back in the apartment and hand her friend her phone back, and then they watched her walk back out to the balcony? And then they just never questioned it again, nothing until the next day at noon? Why is the identity of these 3 girls not publicly released? Key witnesses are usually referenced. Did the police even check for forced movement or defensive injuries on her body? Family says that photos show suspicious marks that are not consistent with suicide. Why did they not interview the neighbors who reported that they heard running in the apartment and screaming? How was there no witnesses whatsoever to see her body fall from that building?